The arena is a desolate plain, cracked earth under a dim, overcast sky. Wind whispers across the battlefield, carrying dust and tension. Two figures stand opposite each other. Sasaki Kojiro, the master swordsman of humanity, his long mono-ashiza glinting softly, and Roronoa Zoro, the straw-hat scarred, determined swordsman, three blades in hand or mouth, haki radiating from him. Kojiro's eyes are calm, but his senses sharpened, every breath, every micro-vibration in the air, every faint tremor in the ground. His innate ability, Senju Muso, hums in his mind, simulating Zoro's possible patterns of attack before they even begin. Zoro, for his part, tightens his grip on his swords. His muscles twitch, his haki, both Busashoku and Conquerors, pulses around his blades, making the steel black with power. Opening salvo. Without warning, Zoro crouches into motion, moving faster than a casual observer would expect, though to Kojiro this is anticipated. Kojiro's Senju Muso projects 1,000 possible Zoro attacks in his mind. Three-sword slashes, flying whirlwind attacks, unsheathed strikes. He narrows his focus. Zoro launches a flying slash with all three swords, one in each hand, one in his mouth. The wind whips violently, slicing up dust, the force of the slash manifesting as a whirlwind of cutting air. Kojiro remains still for a heartbeat, letting the slash come. Then his mono-hashizo arcs upward, meeting Zoro's strike with preternatural precision. He deflects, but the force jolts his arms. Even a master like him feels the weight of Zoro's haki-infused attack. Mind versus haki, the dance of swords. Kojiro decides to press his advantage. In his head, he runs a mental simulation. His Senju Muso projects Zoro's style, and Kojiro recognizes patterns from centuries of swordmasters' techniques. He adjusts his stance, shifting his blade for a counter that blends his own Ganryu style with learned forms from other masters. Zoro, sensing Kojiro's intent, narrows his eyes. He channels more Busashoku haki into his swords, hardening them and braces for a volley of slashes. Then he roars, stepping in close, crossing his blades in a ferocious triple barrage, a three-sword style assault. Kojiro's reflexes, enhanced by his simulation, are razor-sharp. He parries the first slash, pivots, then unleashes his signature Tsubame Gishi. He swings his blade down, then reverses in mid-motion, slashing upward with blinding speed. The upward blade comes precisely into Zoro's blind spot, a dangerous, calculated blow. Zoro grunts, but his haki-fortified swords absorb much of the energy. Still, he's pushed back, his footing disrupted. His eyes narrow further. He steps back, breathing heavily. Kojiro's edge, sensing the world. Kojiro doesn't relent. He closes the distance, but not recklessly. He listens. His enhanced hearing detects the subtlest shifts, the way Zoro breathes, how his swords hum, how the ground vibrates beneath each step. He's simulating not only Zoro's body but the battlefield itself. Manju Muso, his evolved sensory vision, perceives airflows and vibrations. Leveraging this, Kojiro launches a reverse grip slash, his Torakiri technique, aiming low, trying to catch Zoro's legs or midsection. Zoro reacts by twisting, but Kojiro's cut still grazes him, drawing a thin line of blood on his thigh. Zoro's expression tightens. He admires the precision. He grips his swords tighter, enraged. He channels Conqueror's haki, black lightning-like aura flickers around his swords. Clash of ultimate techniques. Now Zoro shifts gear. He brings out his King of Hell three-sword style, a devastating form where he layers armament haki and Supreme King haki, infusing his swords with crackling, feral energy. His speed, strength, and haki power spike. He lunges at Kojiro with a flurry, slashes, thrusts, spinning strikes, each blow crackling with haki. The ground trembles under the impact. Kojiro braces, breath steady, his own sword humming. But Kojiro's Senju Muso is at its limit, analyzing hundreds of attacks, predicting, parrying, countering. He weaves through Zoro's onslaught, deflecting some blows, absorbing others with pure technique. Finally, Kojiro digs deep. He summons Knight and Ganryu, the ultimate synthesis of all sword styles he's mastered, his past opponents, his losses, everything. He swings Mono Hashizo in a two-sword rhythm, since in Ragnarok he uses a split form of his weapon, delivering a rapid X-shaped slash, a perfected, deadly cross-blade cut. Zoro responds with all he's got, three blades meeting two, Haki infusing steel into living menace. Their swords clash again and again, sparks flying, the air ripping with raw power. Turning point. But Kojiro's advantage, his predictive simulations, his attunement to the world begins to tell. He senses a pattern in Zoro's fight, repeated micro-adjustments, a slight hesitation when he switches from offense to recovery. He times it perfectly. As Zoro swings with all three swords in a horizontal slash, Kojiro ducks, pivots, and counters with his Tsubeim Gishi, the upward blade slashing from Zoro's blind zone. The strike lands on Zoro's chest, but not just any strike. It's charged with Kojiro's resolve, his hard-earned skill, his lifelong dedication. Zoro stumbles. Blood blossoms on his shirt. His haki flickers, surprised. For a moment, his world narrows, two swords in his hands, one in his mouth, and a burning pain in his chest. Kojiro doesn't pause. He presses forward, unleashing a rapid barrage using Knight and Ganryu's final flurry, twin blades cutting in an X pattern, then sweeping strikes across Zoro's midsection. Final blow and death. Zoro, weakened but furious, tries one last desperate counter, a King of Hell overdrive. He channels Supreme Haki into a final, powerful three-sword slash. Energy crackles, the wind roars, and his aura surges. But Kojiro's eyes are sharp. He recognizes the buildup, the micro-tremors in Zoro's breath, the way his arms tense. He sidesteps deftly, using his strength and swordsmanship to twist aside the blow. In that split second, Kojiro brings his blade around in a deadly arc. His Mono Hashizo meets the backs of Zoro's swords, slicing through with surgical precision. The strike is swift, but undeniably lethal. Zoro's haki aura flickers out as he gasps. His swords clatter to the ground. He staggers, kneels, and then falls face forward on the cracked earth. His breath comes in shallow gasps, his vision blurs. Kojiro stands over him, blade raised. Zoro looks up, defiant even in defeat, but his strength fails him. With a final, slow breath, his eyes dim. He collapses fully. Aftermath. Silence falls. The wind stills as though the world itself is paying respect. Kojiro sheathes his Mono Hashizo calmly, breathing steadily. He bows his head toward Zoro's fallen form, not mockingly, but with deep respect. In his mind, he acknowledges, this was not just a duel of swords. It was a clash of spirit, haki versus simulation, raw power versus refined technique. And in this moment, human skill has triumphed.